Hello YouTube. This morning I'm going to make a video about my ride here at Crest Ridge and the new addition to my bike, Marzocchi CR 350s or 350 CRs. Pretty much a mid-level 35 mil stanchion 160 to 140 travel fork for my Kona process 134. So let's get riding. So while I'm making my way over to some of the fun single track out here, I'm going to talk about my experience with these forks and how they work with this particular bike. So in order to compare forks, I think you gotta first understand what was on here. So my bike was a base level Kona process, 2x10 drivetrain, Monarch rear shock, and the forks were the RockShox sector, and those are set up to 140. And to be honest, those things never let me down. They were sick. The only time I felt like they were just not all there was up at Big Bear at the bike park. They got kind of noodly, flexy, a little overactive, and that's when I started looking for an upgrade. And these Marzocchis were the only thing that was in my price range. Oh, jogger. So anyway, I picked them up and on eBay, and I sent them out to Dirt Labs just to have the travel adjust done, because they came set at 160. So I already ride with a pretty low bar and my stem set up, so I didn't want to have the front end any higher. I'm sure it would be an okay combination for the downhills, but you know, it's my opinion that fat old guys need all the help on the climbs, and if I want to go faster on the downhill, I just stay off the brakes. But anyway, had the travel adjust done from 160 to 140. That set me back like a little over $100. Those guys were really fast. Turned it around in pretty much like it's probably 7 days, and immediately mounted it on the bike. And the first thing I noticed, and if anybody looks into the Marzocchi forks, is everybody complains how sticky the seals can be. It gives you a kind of a shitty feeling. And the forks took, I want to say, at least 60, 50 miles to break in. I must have done 3 rides, and I thought to myself that I'd have been better off not going with these things, because they just felt terrible. And I was all over the air pressure. I was way above what was recommended, way under, and there just was no small bump compliance at all, and they felt terrible. But I had read online that people had the same or similar experience, and so I kept riding and just kept an eye on my pressure. And boy, once they broke in, they started to feel decent. So what these forks are, I want to say they got that distinctly European feel. They're all business. No matter what you do in stock trim with your rebound dampening, your compression dampening, your air, you're not going to get these things to be poppy and playful. They just keep the bike on the ground, and the faster you go, the better they work. And that's it. So when I do ride, like at my house, I have a little pack of jumps. I just bump up the air pressure, and that keeps my front end higher in the travel and gives it like a similar feeling to a fork that just doesn't dive, and pretty much makes it as lively as possible. So I guess I normally ride it right around 105, 108 on the pressure. That's my trail pressure. And then if I ride my the jumps at my house, I'll bump it up to like 135. And anyway, so what makes a Marzocchi 350 my choice? The price, the travel adjust, the 35 mil stanchions, and the support at medium to fast speed. So I've had to learn to give up a little bit of my slow speed precision and really make sure that I'm over the front of the bike in order to hit the lines on your technical climbs and stay on target, because it will have a tendency to kind of not track. It'll deflect a little bit and not really get, you'll end up a couple inches off track, and before you know it, you're into a section where your tires lock up or something like that. Anyway, and then you got to break these things in. The seals are super tight when they're new. I've read online where people think that their forks are defective. You got to put 50 or 60 miles on them and play with the settings. And I think for the price, they're a good option. They're not the greatest fork out there. Someday I may get a Pike or a 36 or a Yari or some bitchin' like that, but not on this bike. This bike was my jump into a more serious commitment to mountain biking. So I'll probably do something a little bit more aggressive or along these lines. Still a trail bike. I don't ever see myself wanting to push a really long travel, much over a 150 travel bike around the mountain all day. I just don't think it's necessary for the kind of riding I do. So anyway, thanks for tuning into my video. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.